Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be making yogurt. We're going to be making a dairy yogurt and we're going to make a coconut yogurt. So let's get started on the dairy yogurt. I have a full gallon of milk here, but I am not going to use it all today. I'm going to pour half into this pot here. It does not have to be exact, just do your best here. This is going to go onto the stove, so let's go do that. The milk is going onto the stove and we're going to warm it up until it's 180 degrees Fahrenheit. This will be right when it starts to boil. We do not want to boil the milk though. I have a candy thermometer that I'm just going to attach to the edge here. That way I can monitor this milk here. For the coconut yogurt, we're going to take a can of coconut milk. Now the coconut milk has to only be coconut. It can't have a bunch of preservatives in it or a bunch of fillers. Otherwise, this is not going to thicken. So these ingredients are organic coconut and water. Unlike our dairy yogurt, we do not have to warm this one up first, but it is going to go in our blender. Pour slowly, don't do what I just did. Then I got this coconut yogurt starter. It's from Holy Kraut. If I can find it, I will link it on Amazon for you. I've never tried making coconut milk yogurt with a previous batch of coconut milk yogurt. I will definitely update you if I try that, but for now we're just going to start with these packages. There are 4 packages in here, so you can make 4 batches of yogurt. And then we're going to take these starters and pour them in with our yogurt here, or pour them in with our coconut milk. Coconut milk yogurt takes a little bit longer to make than regular yogurt, but one of our family members avoids dairy, so this will be the perfect alternative to still make something at home. Finally, you will need a teaspoon of sugar. You can also use maple syrup. Honey is not an alternative that you can use though. If you don't add any sugar, this will not ferment properly, so you do need the sugar addition. Now we just have to blend it together for a quick second. It basically just needs to be nice and combined. I'm just going to use this quart-sized jar for my coconut yogurt. So you can pour it in. I'm sure you could use a smaller jar. As you can see, it didn't fill very much, but that's okay. Now this is going to have a lid on it and we're going to put it into our dehydrator. I've got my dehydrator here. We're going to open up the lid and put our coconut yogurt in one side and our empty jar. This one is going to be for our dairy yogurt, but we have to preheat this to 110 degrees. If you do not have a dehydrator, I will link this one. It has been so amazing. We have done so many things with it and I would never go back to life without a dehydrator. So what we're going to do now is turn on the heat to 110 and leave this to preheat. You can see all the foam right here. It's just about to boil, but it has not boiled and it just hit 180 degrees. Definitely watch it and make sure you're supervising because it goes from not boiling to boiling in like that. Now we're going to take it off the heat. We're going to let it cool down to 110 degrees. You could put this in a shallow ice bath to help cool it down quickly, but just make sure you're supervising. You do not want it to go under 110. We're going to fill up the sink because I want this to cool a little bit quicker. We're running out of time. It needs to ferment for 8 to 12 hours. Then you can just take a clean spatula and whisk it around a little bit. Obviously, do not add water to this. I think that goes without saying. Okay, we are right at 110 degrees here, so I'm gonna pull it out of the sink full of cold water and put it on the counter. Very similar to the coconut yogurt, you could buy bacteria to put into here, or you could use probiotic tablets. However, I'm just going to use some yogurt that we bought at the store. It's just some plain yogurt here, and you need 1 tablespoon per quart of milk. So we're gonna do approximately 2 tablespoons here. And then mix it all around. Make sure that you get some in all of the milk. This is what's going to help your milk ferment into yogurt. I just turned off the dehydrator for a second so you could actually hear me explain this next part, but we are going to take our warmed jar out of the dehydrator and then pour our warm milk mixture into our jar. My freezer is extremely off balance. I don't know. It must be too full. So I just had to move it to the top here. So you have your clean warm jar with your canning funnel, and we're just gonna pour the milk in. Then the lid goes on, and in it goes again to your dehydrator. The lid goes back on, and it gets turned on again to 110 degrees. The dairy yogurt is going to take approximately 8 to 12 hours like this, but the coconut yogurt is going to take 18 to 20 hours. So this is kind of an overnight sort of situation. It's time to check on our yogurt. So we'll turn it off, open up the lid, and by now our dairy yogurt should be finished. So this whole time we left it undisturbed, we didn't touch it, and our coconut yogurt still has about 10 hours to go. So I'm gonna leave the coconut yogurt overnight. You can see it started to separate, which is normal. We're gonna not touch that one at all. Oh my, wow, that's crazy. We're gonna pull the lid off. It smells exactly like yogurt. Oh yeah. Now it's going to thicken in the fridge here, but you can give it a quick stir. It smells like yogurt. Give it a quick taste. Keep in mind that this does not have any sweetener or sugar, so it's going to be tangy. It's delicious. Now that this dairy yogurt is complete, I'm going to put it into our fridge overnight, and then I will mix it up for breakfast with some yogurt and berries. I will showcase that as well. So this comes into the fridge, and I'm gonna turn on my dehydrator. Like I mentioned, that's gonna go all night at 110 again. This dehydrator has been going all night, and here is the yogurt all finished. It says it's ready when there's a skin on the top, and there was a skin on the top. So you can just shake it up, and now this is going to go into the fridge, and it should thicken up in the fridge. So I will report back later. So this yogurt has been sitting overnight in the fridge. And as you can see, it's very thick, not quite as thick as a Greek yogurt, but it's pretty creamy and thick. And then we can pour a drizzle of maple syrup on. You could also use honey if you wanted. And then we can add a little drizzle of vanilla. Then we'll give it a quick mix. And then we can put some raspberries in, or whatever fresh fruit you have. And then we'll add some granola, and this granola recipe is from my ebook. If you have not checked that out, I will link it in the description box below. My dry mixes ebook has saved me many a times, and there you have a beautiful yogurt parfait. Okay, I quickly wanted to show you this coconut yogurt. It ended up not working at all. I'm gonna have to play around with the recipe a little bit because it just didn't work out, but it smells delicious. Okay, and then here is the yogurt parfait. Let's give it a quick try. It's so good. Okay, I definitely think making your own homemade yogurt is absolutely worth it. I would definitely recommend. And then the next time you make yogurt, you can just use the yogurt that you made. And so you basically have a perpetual yogurt cycle, which is amazing. And if you haven't checked out my ebook, check the link in the description box below. It has over 70 recipes in there for dry mixes, seasoning mixes, extracts, and more. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you more than you know. Take care.